Hello everyone, Spud here, and in today's video I want to talk about a game that's actually having a pretty interesting development cycle. Now, for those of you who watched my last video on Doom, you would know that I was not very impressed with the new next-gen quote-unquote arena shooter, and I even said it wasn't even an arena shooter at all. And so I thought in today's video I'd look at this new upcoming game from Epic Games, the guys who made Gears of War, Unreal Tournament. Now, for those of you who played games back in the day, you should know that Unreal Tournament has a pretty massive pedigree. It used to have a big following, and it's had tons of games come out. Some were good, some were bad, but all in all, it was actually a pretty huge franchise, and it was one of the original, really good arena shooters, and it's coming back in this remake. Now, why this game is so interesting and how it's being developed is currently it's in pre-alpha. But this game is one of the few that I know of that is being crowd developed. That's different from crowd funded. It's not being funded by the community. It's actually being developed by the community. Now, what this means is Epic Games, they laid the groundwork. They laid out the engine. They laid out the basic, properties and what they wanted, and they're recruiting help from the community, which essentially means that if you have experience in modeling, texturing, creating maps, or other aspects of game design, you can submit your models or your textures or your pieces of code to the official dev page, and they will pick the cream of the crop to add into the game. Now, this is a really cool thing, because if say you're a really talented modder and you wanted to sort of break into more of the actual gaming industry, you wanted to maybe get a professional job somewhere, and part of your work is actually put into the next Unreal Tournament game, that's pretty big. I would say that's a resume builder right there. And it's just also a really cool way to develop a game, because it's literally 100% transparent development, which means the community will see where the game is going and see what is becoming as it's being built, which means if they see something they don't like, i.e. Doom putting in loadouts to an arena shooter, what the fuck, they can bring the hammer down saying, no, we don't like this, Epic, we don't want you doing this. And the result so far has been pretty damn impressive. The maps are interesting. They're, pretty vibrant. I mean, most of them right now are static, but a few have cool gimmicks, like Biohazard has, balls of poison snot goo that drops from the ceiling and from other places that will, cut off areas of the map. And, Castle is a lot of fun. Outpost 23 is sort of your more traditional, map, but it looks just completely gorgeous. And all in all, it's been a really, really fun game to play. It is bare bones. It's still very pre-alpha, but the core game is 100% intact. And I gotta say, it's really satisfying jumping back into a true arena shooter again. It's got the weapon drops, it's got the map control, it's got the really tight gameplay and the advanced movement. You can slide, you can duck, you can run across walls, you can do a lot of really cool things. And it all leads to really an experience that feels pure. It's you, your opponents, and the skill and that determines who wins that fight. It's really satisfying. It's really visceral. There are some kind of weird call-outs I've noticed where like the NPC, or I guess the bot characters in the match, will kind of spam, and so they'll say obscenities, which is kind of weird, but oh well, it's Unreal, they can do what they want. But yeah, all in all, I would say that if you wanted to go out and play an arena shooter and you had PC, don't even bother dropping the money on Doom. Go and play Unreal, or help develop Unreal if you had the talent to. Maybe in a couple of years when this game is done, this will actually help revitalize the genre. However, I am kind of worried because the pre-alpha, like I said, it's just the core gameplay that's really there. A lot of the maps are untextured. There are a lot of weapons that may or may not actually ever make it into the game. There are a lot of power-ups and mutagens and other things that might not make it in. And so really it's actually kind of unclear where it's going to go, because there's so many options, and it just kind of depends on where Epic wants to go with that. And as of right now, the player base is pretty small. One thing I noticed is a lot of my matches I would have bots for most of the early match. So I would join a game, I'd have probably 4 or 5 bots and 3 players, then players would slowly fill in the slots until I would have a full game by around my second match. And then, that's not bad, but it's definitely not a good sign. I think this game could use a little bit more press and maybe a little bit, I guess there's more meat there to hold players, because people from the modern generation of gaming, they're used to a lot. They're used to leveling systems, they're used to weapon loadouts, they're used to a lot of things that sort of draw them in and keep them playing because they want to get that next big shiny toy. And Unreal and arena shooters in general don't really have that. It's more like Counter-Strike, where all of the progression is made within the match. So, but anyways, guys, that's the new Unreal. I'm excited for it. I'm going to be playing it a lot. Tell me what you guys think below. Are you guys interested in the new Unreal tournament? Do you think that arena shooters should just die already, or do you not have a PC that can run it, so you're mildly jealous? Anyways, guys, say so in the comments below. If you watched, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys all on the next video. Bye-bye.